Hi everybody, I'm Judy DiLorenzo with The Life Well Planted, and today I'm going to show you how I make blackberry jam using honey instead of sugar. I prefer to use a low amount of honey so that each jar only contains 1 tablespoon. I'll also demonstrate how I remove about half of the seeds. Both blackberries and raspberries, as you probably know, contain a lot of seeds. So by removing at least half, you end up with a nicer texture. You can either freeze this jam or you can can it to make it shelf stable. Before we get started, I'll do an overview of the ingredients that you need as well as the equipment. You'll need between 2 and 3 quarts of blackberries, depending on how much of the seeds you choose to remove. You'll need bottled lemon juice, not fresh squeezed. Bottled lemon juice has a more standardized pH. You'll need honey and Pomona pectin. This is the only pectin that I found that will allow you to use honey and other alternative sweeteners as opposed to an insane amount of sugar, because that's what most jams contain, right? An insane amount of sugar, 50, 60, 70% sugar. It's insane, in my book anyway. This is the only pectin that I found that allows you to use a low amount of honey, even no honey, no sugar. You don't have to use any sweetener to get the jam to gel up using Pomona pectin. It's amazing. I love it. I've been using it now for a few years. I'm not affiliated with them. I just love it, as do many other people once they find it. So that's why I'm doing this video, to help you find this is a good alternative. As far as equipment is concerned, you'll need a food mill, such as this OXO food mill. I place it right on top of a 4-cup measuring cup, and that way it not only catches the juices, but it measures it at the same time. And then you'll need a potato masher. As I said, you'll be removing about 50% or so of the seeds, and then the rest of the berries you'll be mashing. You'll need a heavy bottomed pot, or I use this Maslin jam pot to boil the berries in. You want a heavy bottomed pot so that they don't scorch. You'll need jars. You can use either half pint or full pint sized jars to put your jam in. I prefer the half pint, but it's up to you. You'll need a funnel and a ladle for spooning the jam into the jars. And you need a long-handled spoon for stirring, a tool to measure the head space, which is the space from the top of your product to the rim of the jar, and you'll need a spatula, a jar lifter. Wall says that you don't have to put the lids in hot water to soften the seals anymore, but I still do, because I find if I don't do that, then some of the seals don't seal. So I've gone back to putting them into a pot of fairly hot water, not boiling, but pretty hot, and then I use this magnetic wand to remove them from the hot water. As I said, you can freeze this jam, but if you decide that you want to make it shelf stable and you want to can it, which is what I usually do, then you'll need either a boiling water bath canner or a steam canner. This is my new steam canner that I got this summer, and I'm really loving it. The benefit is that you only have to put 2 or 3 quarts of water into it instead of filling up a huge canning pot. So I find it much more convenient. It doesn't heat the kitchen up as much, and it's just overall easier. But you do whatever you have to do. If you have a boiling water bath, of course, that's perfectly fine, and that's what I did for like 30, 40 years. It is safe and approved for home canning. I only use lab-tested and approved recipes and equipment. Now that all of that's out of the way, let's get jamming. I'll be taking you through this entire process step by step. You start by making calcium water. Inside the box, you'll find, in addition to these lovely instructions with lab-tested recipes, you'll find 2 packets. One is the pectin, and the other is calcium, a calcium powder that you mix with water. You only need a half a teaspoon of the powder and a half a cup of water. I've already pre-measured my water, so you just open it up, measure your half teaspoon, just put it in the water, shake it up, and you'll be using a teaspoon or two depending on the recipe you're following, and then the rest you store in the refrigerator. It lasts a long time. Just make sure you shake it up again before you use it. The food mill will press the blackberry juice and pulp through a sieve, leaving the seeds behind. Turn the crank forwards for 3 or 4 spins, and then backwards once or twice, over and over again. Keep cranking like this until the seeds left behind are pretty dry. Scrape the bottom of the mill because some puree and juice will collect there. And then pour it into your pot and compost or discard the seeds. And now it's time to mash some berries. I need a total of 4 cups. I have 2 cups of pureed, which means I need 2 cups of mashed. This single recipe makes between 4 and 5 half-pint jars of jam. I'll leave the full recipe down below. It'll be in the description. Once the berries are mashed real good, you can add them to the pot and give it a stir. Turn the stove on to medium-high heat. And next you add the calcium water. For this particular recipe, you need 2 teaspoons. And then again, give it a good stir. And next you'll add the lemon juice. Measure a 1/4 cup. Add it to the pot and stir it in. Now it's time to prepare the pectin. Measure out 2 teaspoons and add it to the honey. I'm pretty impressed with the quality of this product. It's called low-methoxyl citrus pectin, and it's extracted from dried citrus peels. There's no sugar, preservatives, additives. It seems pretty clean. And just so you know, it will take quite a bit of stirring to get the powder to dissolve and fully blend in with the honey, and you really do want to get it to blend in well. Don't leave any powdery chunks. This is what it looks like when it's fully blended. So at this point, you can add it to the pot and stir it well. Boil for 1 or 2 minutes, and now the jam is ready for the jars. Per usual, always start with clean jars and clean lids. Leave a 1/4-inch headspace. Wipe the rims with either a wet paper towel or a wet, clean kitchen towel. Place a lid on each jar and then screw on the bands so that they're tight but not overly tight. And that's it. Now the jars are ready to go into the canner. With a steam canner, once a steady stream of steam is coming out the vent hole for 2 minutes, then you can start timing. Whether you're using a steam canner or a boiling water bath, the processing time is the same. It's 10 minutes, adding 1 minute more for every 1,000 feet above sea level. When using a steam canner, after the jars are done processing, you wait another 10 or 15 minutes before you open the lid, always directing the steam away from you. And then using your jar lifter, move the jars to a towel. Per usual, wait until they're fully cool before you check the seals and remove the bands. Don't forget to label the lids with the product name and the date, and then they're ready to store in your pantry. If you've gotten value from this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. And thanks so much for watching.